Fine Freyja is not affiliated in any way with OkCupid or any other dating service. It is intended solely for critique and satire. If you find real wisdom or advice here, well, that's just a coincidence, baby. And now, it's time to get cozy.
I feel the skin that separates us start to fade, and when I lie on top of you.
Hello, and welcome again to Fine Freyja, the podcast that turns online dating into a role-playing game. I'm Mark.
And I'm Natasha.
You ready?
No.
You excited?
No.
Come on, let's do this.
No.
Get hype.
Oh,
Get hype.
I'm-
Ooh, wah! Okay.
That's not fair. I was gonna do that.
Beat you to it. Okay, let's get into, we have 8 messages. You want to get into those first?
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Breeze through them,
I
because
bet
they
they're all
usually
gonna
kind of suck.
suck.
Yeah, they're people aren't creative here. There's a hey. There's a hey, how are you? There's a hey, so how's the site going for you?
Who asks that?
There's I think you are beautiful. I'm on here to make love.
Make love.
Well, that's great, buddy. Good luck with that. See ya. Hello, how's things with you? Hi, how are you? How was your weekend? Interesting profile text and photo. Arabic and Hebrew do not appear in your languages spoken. So how do you come to use the term Freyja?
Arabic and Hebrew, that's assuming what? That Freya is...
Yeah, Freyja's Norse. Like,
Well, I'm sure there are variations around
Oh,
the
yeah.
world, but that's an odd thing to point out.
yeah. But like, why would they think that that's, the only, like, also, the name of our character is Freyja. So, like, I don't know, my parents.
My parents chose it for me.
And
Them
finally,
pieces of shit.
hi, how is your day going?
That's it.
And, yeah.
Boy, wasn't that fun.
Yeah, people are not exciting, unfortunately. You know what is exciting, though?
What?
Questions.
Oh, boy.
Let's get into the questions.
Okay.
Yeah?
Questions. It's your first date. Do you split the bill, pay the whole bill, have them pay the whole bill? The answers are split the bill, pay the whole bill, have them pay the whole bill, or it doesn't matter to me.
I generally, on a first date, like I've said before, is my first dates have historically been, like a coffee or a drink or something, just to kind of meet up and see if we get along, and then plan something a little bigger. Because I don't like going out to like dinner and having some big production and then spend a bunch of money with somebody I'm probably not going to see again. So for me, I like splitting the bill. We've always split the bill when appropriate, and
Or one of us pays, usually me.
yeah. Well, in terms of, when we were first, getting together.
Do we
and
believe
going
in
out.
gender equality? Yes.
Yeah.
Next
And
question.
we always no.
No,
We
I
can
know.
talk about this. This is a discussion
No,
podcast. No, let's get it over with. Let's get all this shit out of the way.
Well, see, the
Why
problem,
why even do a podcast?
the problem you make is that you get me at the very end of my day. So I'm just like, fuck this shit. I am done. Here's your answer. Goodbye.
All right, you're fired.
Peace out. I'm not
Get a
here-
new recording partner.
Okay, it won't be that hard. Thought we had something going for a while, but I guess we had a good
apparently
run.
you're not interested.
Folks, you're witnessing the breakup.
It's happening.
No, like we always split the bill
Yeah.
unless I pay.
I mean, I believe in going Dutch, as it were. That's why they call me Dutch.
I don't think that you're not. No one calls you that.
Does that term come from, like, is there some historic stereotype where people from the Netherlands always split the bill?
Not to my knowledge.
So yeah, we like the option of splitting the bill. Freya probably
I don't
also.
think Freya don't matter, but can we, for a second, pay attention to the have them pay the whole bill? Because that happens. You'll get to at the end of the date, and that person will be like, "So you got this, right?" And it's like,
Or it's
"Excuse
just,
me."
or it's assumed. And of course, we've always hated the traditional guy pays thing because, like, why?
Yeah, at the same time, though, I don't think in any date-like scenario I've been in, I've never paid. Mm-hmm. Because why would you if someone offers?
Right,
like in
because
any
it's
situation.
assumed.
Yeah, no, that the guy pays if you're in a heterosexual situation.
And I think proper etiquette is to, accept it if someone offers, but also, like, at least do the gesture of getting your wallet out or your card out, and if the person says, "I got this," that's great. If not, okay.
This also goes for friendship, I think, too.
Right.
Because if like a friend, I often have friends try to pay things for me, and I'll just refuse, like, passionately. And like they have to find sneaky ways to like pay. They have to either like pay in advance, be like, "That woman over there, do not let her pay. I am paying for her order," and they have to like do that weird shit with me. But like if I am in that situation, they're like, "Oh no, I got this." I'll be like, "No, are you sure?" And they'll be like, "Yeah," and I'll be like, "Okay, I'll put my wallet back then. Thank you. You're an amazing human
And
being."
like you've said, you'll often pay more because you make more money than me. But like, it's a scenario where I'm working on like getting a movie into production, and that's a large chunk of change. So like after that, I'll get you back.
Nice vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting my nice vacation out of that one.
Yeah, I don't think it matters to Freya.
Freya doesn't care.
I think she probably does split the bill most of the time.
I have a feeling food just arrives. And she's simply there to consume it.
Where does she get her money?
Do we need to know?
You don't want to know about it here. Okay, and she'll accept any of the above. It's a kind
No,
of
not have them pay the whole bill, because that's a dick move.
That's true. Yeah.
So doesn't matter. Maybe she.
But that's the answers we'll accept from a match. So, do we care about how they answer?
Yeah, because that's kind of just that's not a chill thing to do.
So split the bill and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What does and somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Are you open to a casual relationship, i.e., more than a hookup, less than a significant other? Yes, I'm open to casual. Yes, but only if my partner were reliable. Or no.
Define reliable, like as in like shows up on time or like consistently.
More than a hookup, less than a significant other. So
That's
I mean, that's just an open relationship, isn't it?
No.
Just
that'd be like a friends with benefits situation.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in a way you could say that's how we started.
Yeah.
Because we were friends, and then we're like, "Hey, sexy time." Okay. I mean, like that's the condensed version, but like that's.
I think we're gonna keep it the condensed version. Fine Freyja NIGHTS.
Nights. Oh my god. Is there even a more explicit like content like flag available on iTunes? Because we might need that one for that episode.
Well, obviously Freya is open to casual, but I think the only if my partner were reliable.
I want to know what that means.
Like isn't gonna catch feelings and want more.
Oh, that's an interesting interpretation.
Yeah.
Because me, I'm thinking like punctuality. Like you better.
What would punctuality have to do with this?
Or just like an explicit agreement of like, hey, we're gonna see each other, and like that implies that there's some sort of regularity to your casual relationship.
So like a friends with benefits prenup, sort of.
No, it's like just being like, hey, we're seeing each other, kind of.
I just don't know what the reliability thing means there. Like
statistically, I can tell you.
Okay.
But I mean like I can tell you the statistical turn of reliability. But that's it. I don't think that's what they.
All right. Well,
meant. Say yes and yes.
both of the yes answers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to qualify this with I don't know what reliable means in this context?
Just define reliable.
Okay.
Or like also reliable, like, can you come on cue?
That's like a porn star skill.
But it's still like a measure of reliability.
I suppose it is.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little, all right. No, actually, I think it would be very for her.
Oh, she is open. No, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's like her whole thing is
Right.
casual hookups. I suppose that's true.
Okay.
Next question. Which of these options most closely describes what you're looking for in your next relationship?
Are you doing sort of a like transatlantic, like 50s dialogue sort of thing?
Just let it happen.
Listen, doll.
There's someone to come home to.
Do you want someone to come home to? Do you want
someone
someone to go out with? Do you want someone for tonight?
The fuck up.
You're a fool, Natasha. You've always been a fool.
Go. Get out.
Okay, see ya.
I don't even, like, you know how you read something and then you're not paying attention to it?
Because you do it in a weird accent for no reason.
Okay. Which of these options most closely okay, someone for tonight, I think, would be Freyja's thing.
Right. Also, I kind of like this question because it's not necessarily commitment related. Like, even the most committed answer isn't necessarily, like
Marriage.
right, like domesticity or anything like that. It's just like I'd like someone to be there,
Someone to, like, really, like, be intimate with on various levels.
Right.
No, the more I
and
look
it's
at
good
this,
to know too in a match that's that kind of quality is that you want to know if someone's looking for a one night stand.
Yeah.
You want to be able to filter those people out if that's not what you want.
Yeah.
So this is a surprisingly
Well worded question. Yeah.
It's got some layers to it.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I were to answer this question, is obviously I want someone to come home to, and I do most of the time.
Well, you already have that, so.
Well, that's why.
Do you want to come home to several people? Hey guys, hey.
Well, we've talked about the clone thing before.
So Natasha has this idea.
No, we don't need to. We're
going into this. We're going into this.
Need to go.
She has this idea where she wishes she had two of me. One could go out and work all the time, and the other could just like hang out here and like cuddle and do all the fun stuff together. And I keep telling her that's slavery.
But, like, hear me out, because I also had, like, a addendum for this that was like, what if I make a clone of me too, and then, like, our clones can hang out with each other as they work.
So we own slave clone couples.
Yeah, so basically all we have to do is have fun, and they go out and do work.
And somehow they're okay with this.
Yeah, no, it's like we raised them from birth, so, like...
Oh, God. No, this is horrible. Also, that's totally just having kids, which we're not.
Oh, well, birth can mean many things. It doesn't mean like this tiny human. They could just be born into existence.
Oh, so, like, you're getting into sci-fi territory here.
Well, who says I don't have a cloning machine in the closet? You never look that far in.
I don't think our closet's that big. So yeah, I think we mentioned this earlier that Freyja wants. I think she wants someone to go out with.
Like to have fun and party with.
Yeah. And occasionally she wants someone for tonight, but we've established that she's kind of like.
You know what I like? This is kind of like a Russian doll scenario. So like these things are like, oh, I have some for tonight that I can go out with and that I can come home to. Like you can have like these. Like, you can have the little one or you can have, like, the big one.
Right. So, yeah, Freyja wants someone to go out with.
And she'll take someone to go out with and tonight.
Yeah, not to come home to, though.
Because where is home?
Right.
Home is where the heart is.
Do you want me to type that? Because I will.
Okay, if you really want to.
No, I don't really want to.
Okay, then let's move on. How important are your political beliefs to you?
Very important, somewhat important, a little important, or not at all important. And that's an important one. We've touched on politics before. I think it was in the first 15.
Yeah.
But this is more of, how deeply you cling to them.
Or more like, how deeply political are you?
Right. Because, you'll meet kind of a spectrum through your life of people who are, not so much able to be swayed, but will have a conversation where you can come to a compromise on your views. Or you'll have, the kind of people who are so set in their ways that they don't actually want to have a discussion. They just want to talk at you about politics.
Yeah, but that's not what this question's about.
I feel like if somebody's political beliefs are very important to them, then they, probably lean towards that type
I
of
feel
person.
like if your political beliefs are very important, you're like, I'm trying to be a politician, is how this should be framed. And like, not all important is like, I own a truck and that is my life and I travel the world.
What kind of bumper stickers are on that truck?
Yeah. The ones that aren't political in nature, I can tell you that.
They're all Toby Keith song lyrics.
Is that possible?
Probably. Or Kenny Chesney.
No.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
That was
That wouldn't be on a truck, though. That would be on a tractor.
I'd say not at all important.
Yeah. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's whatever.
Whatevs, bros.
And answers she'll accept. I don't think she would want somebody whose political beliefs are
Maybe
very
like
important.
a little is fine, but like that's kind of the threshold where she's just like, man, you're not like chill enough. Maybe I'm gonna leave.
I think she'd accept us somewhat.
Nah,
No?
I'm taking a hard stance on this.
And that is...
Somewhat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is intelligence a turn-on? Yes, somewhat. Intelligence does nothing for me either way, or intelligence turns me off.
You know what's fun? It would be a fun question.
Dumb people.
No, I was just gonna say like a more fun question would be like, is being dumb a turn on? I just love them dumb kids.
I mean, like, some people do like ditzy people. There's like, yeah, that kind of like cliche.
I
sort
don't
of,
know anything.
I feel like that's more of
I'm a valley girl.
more of like an '80s
I
stereotype,
just know
though.
how to do my
It's like-
hair.
Like the
And my
Baywatch bimbo sort of thing.
makeup. Oh my god, it's so hot in this air-conditioned room.
You're scary at that. Just
It's because I lived.
you're
I lived
frightening.
it.
Oh yeah, you live in the Bay Area. Yeah.
I lived the California.
Thanks, California.
Girl. You have
You
these
weren't
girls
really, like-
who would like just like go on like this forever.
You weren't in the thick of it though. Like you weren't in
No.
LA.
No, but like
That's
we
where
still
the whole
had
Valley
that.
Girl
I
stereotype
know,
came
but
from.
like it spread.
Oh, I'm sure. It goes upstate. But yeah, I'm sure you encountered plenty of that.
Oh, of course, there was like a whole clique in high school.
So around what time did Valley Girls stop saying, "Oh my God," and start saying "OMG"?
Oh, that's actually a good question. After my time, that's for sure.
All right.
Oh, you're making me feel old now. Jeez.
The thing is, a turn on, as in like mentally turn on,
Or I'm sexually aroused by your intelligence, because
There was-
that's a kink.
Right. Well, that was that was a thing that we could choose when we were making the character. That's a callback to the pilot.
Go listen to that if you're just joining us now,
Yeah. Well, listen to all of our episodes.
because they kind of make sense the more you progress through them. Mm-hmm. Is intelligence a turn on, Freya?
I mean, I wouldn't. Speaking personally, I don't think we'd be together if we didn't respect each other's intelligence and like the conversations we have. Like,
You think I'm smart?
you're literally smart. You
Literally
You-
smart. Quantifiably smart.
tell them how old you are.
I'm 24.
and you have a master's.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do think you're
That's,
smart.
That's only one kind of smart, though.
Yeah.
PhD on the way, yo!
Of course there's other kinds of smart.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't say I'm dumb.
No.
What kind of smarts would you say I have?
I don't really... Okay, don't make me answer the question about intelligence, because I've gone on rants about how intelligence is kind of just a dumb concept on its own. Because it has this really, like, racist history.
Oh, yeah.
In
You have brought this up
yeah,
in the podcast
no, it's
before.
like...
Yeah.
like eugenics stuff, and it started out being an assessment tool in France in like the early 1900s to see, basically for special education, to see like how kids needed to be sorted out, which had its problems in itself, and eventually got to this guy who made it a total like eugenics, like racist thing. And then now we use it as like an intelligence test, which is not what it sounds like. It's really, I've done this test too. Or one version of it, and it's like basically how I would put it is, how long does it take you to fall asleep? Because the shit they make you do, and it's like you're in a room for hours with a psychologist doing like moving blocks around and like doing these weird time tests, and by the time you get to the math portion, you're like, I don't even know what fucking numbers are. So like I don't even like, it's a whole thing on its own. So, what kind of intelligence do I think you are? I think you're above intelligence. That's my answer.
In Freya's case, though, I think she would say somewhat.
Sure.
And
I
think she'll take anything except intelligence turns me off.
I morally cannot answer this question.
Okay.
So you take it.
But can you answer through a character though?
Through a character? Through her understanding of intelligence?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll agree with yes and somewhat.
Okay.
No, maybe the intelligence turns me off folks are like kind of interesting on their own. You never know. But like, yeah, let's go with that.
I don't know what kind of person would choose that. And I don't think I want to know. Do you need a creative outlet to play an instrument, paint, write, etc.? The answers are, yes, I need a way to express myself, sometimes, but I could live without it, or I'm fine without one.
Oh, I know what Freya would answer.
You know what I would answer.
You know what I would answer.
Yeah, I could not live without creative expression.
Well,
I've built a career on it, and it's pretty much my raison d'etre. I don't know if I butchered that or not.
I was gonna be an artist. And then I decided to get $80,000 in debt and get a few degrees.
But you are still an artist.
I am still an artist.
You
I paint, I draw. I'm
you
now
designed our
digitally
logo.
arting. I'm digitally arting now.
right.
I've dabbled in like music and even creative writing. Like I draw my own tattoos. Like
Right,
like you
that's
look
true.
at me and I look like a stereotypically creative person. But it's still like a really important part of like self-expression is like my thing.
and I think the tattoo design point is important to note because how many people do you see like do you hear about going into tattoo parlors and saying like, oh, give me this thing from the book, like make it just like this picture, which kind of limit an artist's creativity.
I didn't tell you I got a compliment on that today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, someone at the yoga studio I go to at the reception, you check in and then just the person behind the desk was like, oh, your tattoos, they look really cool. What are they? And I was like, oh, they're like based off of like Old Norse runes. And she's like, oh, I work at a tattoo studio. It's just so refreshing to see something new. And I was like, oh, well, yes. You're welcome.
But it's also, everyone's like, oh, you're going to regret it. Or like, oh, it doesn't really mean anything to you. Like, this is actually stuff that means something to you and that you've designed yourself.
They all have a very interwoven story.
Right. And
I have a neat little fact is I wait at least a year to decide on my tattoos. And to formulate them themselves takes a long time
Mm-hmm.
because they're all like, I have just like this weird method to it, but anyway,
And
digress.
I would not be here without writing.
you literally would not be in this country without writing.
I mean, I might, you don't know.
I'm gonna say no to that, but like, moving on. So obviously she'll say yes, but I also think she's fine with whatever.
Yeah.
It's like not, you know.
No, she's a very accepting person, I think.
Oh boy. Have you ever had a sexual encounter with someone of the same sex? Yes, and I enjoyed myself. Yes, I did not enjoy myself. No, and I would never. No, but I would like to.
Obviously,
I really want to know about the yes, but I didn't enjoy it. Like, what happened there?
yeah.
Tell me more.
I would really like to see the demographics of who answers this.
And I would like to see the follow-up study of who ends up being gay.
I think this is a pretty quick one. Freyja, oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's pansexual.
yeah.
And I think that she'll accept anything except no and I would never.
Open your minds.
And how...
Open your holes in your body.
And love someone with a joke.
And yeah, exactly.
And I'll say somewhat important for that.
Yeah.
It's a straightforward question. We're all very tolerant people here. You know,
Here being two people in a living room.
right? But, you know, consenting human adults.
Have fun.
Yeah. Are you looking for a partner to have children with? Nope.
There were two answers, yes and no. And there should be a third one of like, it depends.
Right.
Or maybe, at least.
I mean, I guess the context for that would be, like, are you on this site to look for someone to have children with?
Oh. That's a weird way to be like, hey, I'm on this dating site because I want kids.
Yeah.
Come one, come all.
Well, there was another one that was like, or have we answered this yet? It was, are you on here just to have sex?
Probably.
I don't know if
something
we
like that.
got to that.
No, I think we did. Anyway,
okay.
the only answer she'll accept is no, obviously, and I say this is very important.
Right. How often do you use social media? I'm a very active user. I'm a somewhat active user. I rarely use it or I never use it.
I fucking hate social media, even though I have to use it every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a necessary evil for promotion of this show and for promotion of myself and promotion of your content and...
It's like no, I run social media for like various organizations, and like I kind of hate how good I am at it. Like, it's not that hard to really like
I mean,
get
if you were
to know.
that
but
good, everyone would know about this podcast, but...
no, I'm not that good because this is not paying me yet.
Right.
You see, the ones who are paying me get noticed, and that's why I have money from that source.
Yeah.
But I mean, both of us use it. I mean, we message each other all the time on Facebook when
Yeah.
we're not like together. So
Yeah.
like that's social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram every day for my own organization. Like, it's just a nonstop social media train, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use a lot of it. Like, I have accounts, but I don't use them. Like, my Instagram feed is maybe like once every couple of months. I rarely post anything on Twitter. My friends list on Facebook is pretty small, and I keep it to people I know and colleagues, people I've worked with. And, you know, I see the value in that because it's the ability to keep in touch with people. But I feel like Twitter and stuff like that is basically just word vomit because you can say whatever you want to anyone you want, and it's just out there, and really it gets to a point where the volume is so high, who cares? Who can sort through any of it?
But Twitter, if you find a little bit of a network, can be really useful in connecting you to people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen practical uses for it. Just, I mean, for myself personally, it's not really for me, though I do use it sometimes.
I hate Twitter, but I'm on it every day. So tweet me.
I have no idea what's up with like I cannot keep up with the trends of new social media coming up.
I think Snapchat is fun.
That's something I don't use. It's
Like-
something like you had to explain to me.
Well, I have to like figure. I'm still like not entirely clear on like all of its features.
Yeah, but I mean that's not even, the cutting edge of social media trends now. There's other stuff that because as soon as adults get into it, kids find something else.
No, and that's what happened. That's what happened because kids went from Facebook to Instagram. Now they're on Snapchat and Instagram. Yeah, Freya wouldn't. I see her rarely using it.
Yeah.
She's one of we all know a person who somehow doesn't have a phone and yet always manages to get everywhere they need to be. And
Oh yeah, like some of my closest friends aren't on Facebook and don't use it at all, but I talk to them frequently. But that's using like Discord and stuff like that. If we want to be realistic here, there's no reason for Freya to actually be on this site.
no,
She shouldn't be using it in the first place.
She wouldn't
but-
need to. She got game.
Right. And also just she has a large circle of friends and gets along with everybody, and she's very social. So why would she need it really? I guess it would be to just see who's in the area she's in because she tends to be nomadic. So I don't know.
I feel like she just has like a. Oh, you wouldn't get this reference because you haven't watched Sherlock. But in Sherlock, he has like a homeless network where he gets information from. And I kind of...
Oh, no, that's something that's prevalent in, like, every version of Sherlock Holmes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Yeah, so I imagine she has something like that, where she just somehow knows.
Like, she
what's going
knows
on.
everyone from everywhere.
Yeah, like, before she gets there or what have you.
To have that level of knowledge. Like, oh yeah, we're going here. Oh, I know people whose couch I can crash
Yeah, I
on.
was just saying, like, couch crashing. Answer still accept. I'd say everything but very active, because if you're very active, like, okay, maybe that's a little unfair to people like me.
No, I think she'd take
Any.
yeah, because she doesn't care about it.
Oh, yeah, just won't give it, just doesn't, just meh. Okay. Are you an aspiring actor / artist / writer or other creative type?
I mean, obviously, I am.
Yeah.
Would you say you are?
Is this am I an aspiring creative type? I mean, like, define creative. Because I'm basically creating a field that doesn't exist. So, like, if that's creative, sure. But other than that, like, I'm not, like, stereotypically in a career path that's considered creative.
I mean, like with your art, you're not exactly aspiring.
I'm not aspiring.
are you?
It's like
Yeah.
I do it for fun.
Right.
And, like, if I really put the effort into it, I could make it something, but I don't because I have other prospects.
I literally get paid for it, so yes. And I think she is too. I think, what kind of art do you think she's into? I bet she plays an instrument.
No, she's a jewelry maker.
Of course she is. She makes spirit beads.
Yeah, see?
But I do think she plays an instrument, at least one. What do you think she'd play?
The oboe.
The oboe. Why the oboe?
It's a
It's a contrabassoon.
deeply romantic instrument.
Sure it is. And she'll accept any.
It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Which superhero or which superpower would you rather have? Flight or invisibility? I mean, that's a very small spectrum of powers there, but I don't know.
Really? Because I know, and definitely invisibility. As like someone who's studied psychologist and like you can never know exactly what people are thinking or doing
yeah.
when they're alone, like that would be the ultimate creep power.
Plus, you'd get bugs in your teeth from flying everywhere.
Well, flying would be fun, but like being invisible and just being able to literally be
Yeah, sneak
fly
onto
on the
planes and.
oh fuck yeah, you could travel for
Yeah.
free. I didn't even think about that.
Now, are we saying that that by being invisible, you'd also be ethereal, like walk through walls, or
I don't think
be
that's how
be
it
able to have
works.
matter pass through you.
No, because that's not invisibility. That's just being a ghost.
So if you did sneak onto a plane, you'd have to make sure
There
that
was a
you didn't
seat.
actually interact with anybody,
Yeah. Or
which
just
would
get
be a little
win-
difficult.
No, just get a window seat.
Or sneak into that little cabin they have for employees. The one that there's like little stairs that go up above the cockpit, and there's little beds up there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. What?
I don't know if it's for short flights, but
No, on long flights I can see that because they would need to.
well, I think
sleep.
I think they have it anyway, just in case one of their employees falls
Falls
ill,
ill.
or needs a rest or something like that. But yeah, they have those.
Oh, well, go figure. The more you know.
But there are plenty of other ways you could stow away.
Anyway, what would Freya pick? I could see her choosing flight because, like, how many cool.
So she could travel.
No, but
likes to
I
travel.
was gonna go the route of like drug trips.
Oh God! Imagine being high and just like being up in the sky and checking everything out.
Probably die, but like whatevs.
But I mean, yeah, it is a very limiting dichotomy here.
On a dating site, I don't find this particularly.
Do we
Needed.
want to explain with what she'd rather have be an option?
What would
Like,
you
does she
rather
want
have?
Wolverine claws or super healing, or
Like STD protection?
is that a superhero power? What superhero?
Has STD protection?
Is that some weird obscure X-Men?
Yeah, he got kicked out. Because he was the one who couldn't have genetic mutations beyond no STDs. That's like where it stopped, so he got kicked out of the club.
Professor X was just like, yeah, I mean, there's not really much I can teach you. You just try to bang everyone here.
It's actually
You-
getting
you-
kind of annoying.
You need to leave the mansion right now.
Anyway,
Okay, so we'll take flight and any of the above,
Above.
because this is a bullshit question. It's not even real.
how long do your romantic relationships usually last? 0 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, 12 plus months, or I've never been in a relationship.
This is a great question for Freya because, as we've established, her times are usually short. Mm-hmm. But I think she probably does go about 6 months to a year. At her longest, maybe. Because this is romantic relationships.
I'd say 6 months.
This one?
Tops.
Tops?
No,
Okay.
0 to 6.
All right. And she'll accept? I'd say...
0 to 6.
I'd
Oh
say
no,
the
rape
first
before
three.
anyone has.
No, she'll take someone who's never been in a
Yeah.
relationship. So
Especially
any
if
of
they're
those
a
is fine.
virgin.
So she can bathe in their blood to stay young. How old is Freya really? It's like Elizabeth Bathory.
Incarnate as this chill, like free
girl.
spirited, yeah, gender fluid, pansexual.
Yeah, why not?
Which is bigger, the Earth or the Sun?
Fuck,
Oh
really?
my God, really?
Really?
Guys,
I want to know who answers the Earth.
Earth.
I want to see those people, and I want to see the people who mark it important.
Do you think those are the flat earthers?
I don't know. Maybe it's like, well, from my perspective, the sun's very tiny. But
Objectively, the Sun is bigger. Very important. This does not require any explanation.
that or we answer like, you dumbasses. Yeah.
Oh God!
that's-
Read a textbook.
Why is that even a question? Though I guess it would be important to you to know that, a potential match
knows basic
yeah.
science? Yeah. Could you
or
be
just isn't is a functional human being.
yeah. I mean, how do you get by in life?
I don't know.
Not okay. Anyway, could you be in a committed relationship with someone who regularly smokes pot 2 times a week? Is regularly. Yes, only if it were for medical use, and no.
Obviously for her, yes,
Yeah.
because I'm sure she does. Will she take no?
Yeah, I mean, she's chill.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, we've talked plenty about marijuana on this before, so I think we can probably move past that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Drugs
the
are so
further
important on this site.
yeah, it's like everyone's hopped up on goofballs.
But at
I'm bringing it back.
No, don't. At the same time, though, like, it is kind of a defining feature about relationships because it often comes with a social connotation. And so if you're, like, very drug friendly, you probably have a friend group that is very drug friendly, which may not be, like, if you're not really into that, your partner may not want
Right.
you around.
Yeah. If you were to die, would whoever goes through your personal belongings be shocked by what they find? Yes, no, or maybe a little bit. I remember answering this, and here's what I said. I said no, and I explained it as because it's the more interesting answer. Either your life is so interesting and you're so open with everybody that even like the weirdest shit they find isn't shocking, or they never find your dark secrets.
That's an interesting way to go about it. Although in our situation, I'm pretty sure I would find out everything about you when you die. Oh no, trust me, I have ways. don't you fear or fret?
I don't think I have anything like in my belongings that you'd find that's like in any way really weird or bizarre.
Well, even like still, like you've always had the policy of like if you want to know, just ask.
Right.
Like nothing's we don't need to hide anything from each other.
I just
That I
like,
know of.
well, I mean, I'm like racking my brain here and trying to think of something where you'd open a box of mine and just be like, "Oh my god, really?
I think for me,
Why didn't he tell me this?"
you more be like, I don't even know what the fuck this does.
Right.
But okay, I would agree that this is something she would own. Yeah, Freya, I'd say
Maybe a little bit.
maybe a little bit. Depends on your perspective.
It
I
depends on
suppose.
who discovers it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. If it was like other people, they'd be like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's dead.
If we knew back then what we know now.
And Annie, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting question, but not to me relevant
Right.
to dating, because it can be taken various ways.
There are files on my computer
The
that are
bust
like,
of you is really weird.
oh yeah, that is weird. but you know about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so a friend of mine has a 3D printer, and he 3D printed a bust of me that he took a 3D picture of.
Yeah,
and I have it up on top of the kitchen cabinets, just looking out over the dining room. So
Yeah.
if anyone comes over and just looks up into that little corner, they'll see a little figure of me just happily staring at them.
Like if you died and I would go through your computer obviously to its fullest extent. Like what would there be something where I'd be like, oh, no.
No. Like the weirdest stuff you'd find is random little notes that are like storytelling bits and writing prompts, which don't make sense a lot of the time when I go back and read them. Like if I haven't looked at them for a while and don't remember what prompted them in the first place. So, just stuff like that. Yeah, I don't have anything weird on I don't have anything on cloud servers, so I'm pretty tame, I think. I think you know my secrets.
Yeah, I think so. Or do I?
Do you keep a budget of your finances? Yes, no, or sometimes. I mean, I always know how much money is. I have a couple of bank accounts. I always know how much money is in it.
I keep very strict budgets of my finances. I'm very good with my money.
I'm very good at stretching out money. I had a job where I'd get paid by the month, and I worked there for quite a while. I mean, I'm currently doing extra work where I'm paid monthly, but I'm talking 15, 20 years ago. And so I really got used to being able to stretch that out as needed and only kind of buy essentials and maybe a couple little things for myself. But in general, I know how to be practical with my money.
I budget well. I budget, and the thing that I really appreciate about myself. Well, and then I've had to like think about in planning for my life as a person who lives with a mental illness is that there like you need a budget for fun. Like if you have a severe mental illness, you need money to like for yourself, your self-care and
Treat yourself.
no, you do. Like, you can't just live feeling
No, that's really important.
with the bare essential. I mean, this is for everyone, but it's especially important for people who struggle with, like, depression or, like, other, like, severe symptoms that I have if I don't feel well. So, like, trivial things or, like, things you might say, like, oh, you're wasting your money on that when you, like, don't have all the money in the world. It's actually pretty important to someone like me. And, like, I feel bad for, like, spending money on stuff like that, but I know it's because I need to build morale in a way.
Right.
To, like, keep myself going sometimes.
Right, and even when I'm dirt poor, I'll allow myself, little things to just kind of pick me up a little bit.
Sometimes it's just the good chocolate.
Yeah, that can be as small as, that can be just like a small little treat every once in a while. And,
Them peppadews.
yeah, I for those who don't know, peppadew peppers are a small strain of peppers that are only grown in a specific location in South Africa, and that's because they have the patent on the strain, and their fields where they grow them have armed guards, and they don't allow any seeds to leave it because they don't want other people growing them. So when our local market does have them, I like to buy them and treat myself a little bit. They're very tasty.
Freya, I don't see her keeping a budget.
No,
At all.
she's minute to minute.
Yeah. Again, with like she
like-
just comes into money somehow.
It just appears.
It appears and she spends it and it just replenishes itself somehow.
And-
Really, I think Freya has like the secret to living life.
Yeah. We should all aspire to be more like Freya.
Could all learn a thing or two.
Let's give her, she'll accept anything. Mm-hmm. And let's do a couple more. How frequently do you bathe or shower? This is very similar to the teeth brushing one. At least once a day, usually daily. I skip some, a couple times a week, once a week or less.
This is some interesting science behind it, though, because I've been reading lately that people overshower. And, like, I don't know. I'm not really literate in that research.
I do know that it can actually be harmful to shampoo too much. Because it can strip away oils that you need in your scalp.
This is the story we tell people, and whether or not it's true is something I still haven't looked up yet on Google Scholar. But the argument right now for not showering daily is that hot water especially will like strip your body of like, I don't know, like just the layers of stuff. This is about how much I know about it. Again, I have not looked into this extensively, but just isn't good for you. Like you need some sort of bacteria. Like there's good bacteria and you need that. Mm-hmm. And the recommendations I see is like, wash your genitals every day, but maybe you don't need to shower full body. The exception to this, hold on, is if you exercise every day, it's fine, because obviously you sweat a lot.
You want to get the stank off you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Freya can be a bit of a dirty hippie.
Yeah.
But I think she generally probably does, I think the usually daily I skip some is probably appropriate for her.
I can see her, like, doing stuff like, oh, we fucked in a hot spring or whatever, and that counts as a shower.
Well, that's two kinds of things you want to get off you.
That's true. And also not good for the people who go in after.
We had sex in a hot spring while I was rubbing jam into my hair for some reason.
And while I was also on my period, and he came a lot. Or she, or both of us, or just,
well, you'd think the hot spring would wash that away, but
depends. Yeah. Anyway, the details are not important.
and then I used blood as war paint.
Don't we all?
I bet Freya has like a sort of hidden taste for folk metal.
Do you think she has like a warrioress barbarian fetish?
I think a little.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We saw a guy with a sword in his picture and kind of like looked like he had furs or something like that. Looked like he'd just been in a battle.
Probably LARPing.
She'd probably like him though.
Yeah.
So she would probably like.
Everything except once a week or less.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's gross.
concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want somewhat or very? You think?
Somewhat.
And how do you feel about falling in love? I love it and I want it very much. I try to avoid it. I like to just let it happen, or I'm indifferent / not sure.
Okay, let's talk about this concept of falling in love. First of all, ow.
It's highly romanticized in media. It's like, I mean, people use it to sell it to you all the time.
It's really just when you think about it, it's a marketing technique. And you see this mostly in jewelry.
Right.
And
Love is hard to quantify, and it's also hard to separate from, infatuation or lust or things like that, because how many people do you know that have had, big crushes or think they're in love with somebody but probably aren't?
I know when we've talked about it, we call it falling in lust.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when I hear some stories sometimes of love at first sight, and then you have either people just like falling apart, or you actually do see sometimes people
Love
who
at first
stick
sight
at-
is literally just like we thought the other was hot.
Yeah, but some people do describe it as this weird feeling, and they end up spending like the rest of their lives
And
with
the
that
theme
person.
from Romeo and Juliet plays.
And then they both die at the end.
Yeah. Well, they died together. I mean, that's romantic, right?
I think my stance on this is if you're in a mutual falling in love kind of relationship, I don't see that as being harmful necessarily, but the concept in itself does have
Of like falling in love. Yeah.
has kind of a vile history in business
Yeah.
and capitalism.
Like, I think a better question would have been, how do you feel about love?
How do you feel about love? Well, also, just like love as a concept, I mean, define it. You do it.
No,
Define
you
love.
can't.
You can't. It's between.
Strong emotional attachment, but like that's...
That doesn't describe
No,
it though, because you can say so many things about strong emotional attachment. Like a strong emotional attachment is like we both hate each other a lot. Like we're in a very strong hate relationship. So just the concept itself is kind of just a social construction that we fabricated to tell this certain narrative about how people should be doing relationships.
How romantic.
It's not at all.
I myself am not an overtly romantic person.
Nope.
Like, we've established this, like, I don't bring you flowers because you don't really...
Well, I have a
like, you don't-
specific answer for that,
Right.
and the answer is they just die.
Yeah.
And, like, that's not a practical... I mean, like, I'll accept chocolate until the day I die.
Right, but I can express my feelings to you in other ways.
Yeah.
And you can do the same.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time that's, we're both way out of the traditions for that.
Well, I think
we
that's...
don't really stick to those at all.
I think that started with the age gap. Kind of thing. But, I wasn't really on board with that right away.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you told me that it took you a long time to get used to that.
Yeah.
And would you say it works better for you?
I don't really have a comparison, right? 'Cause
Right.
I never experienced that with you. Like, I only have one you.
Yeah.
So
Well, unless you
and
clone me, like-
and then I can clone that
Yeah.
clone to be more romantic. But that brings in other problems that we will not talk about here. But I don't know. Like, I've never experienced that with you, so I don't know.
But also, I mean, the whole concept of the one. I remember that I used to subscribe to that pretty heavily when I was younger and basically didn't know better. Personally, I think it's even a more romantic thing to consider that out of everyone in the world, there are probably many, quote, ones for you, but you choose one. You know, you choose the one you want to be with.
You're the one I want.
Right. I'd rather it be some like the one I choose rather than like the one that's destined.
Well, it kind of places you in a trap of like, what if that doesn't work out?
Oh, exactly. And I'm sure people have said like, "Oh, we're soulmates," and then divorce.
I do kind of believe in the concept of like soulmates and that like you do form like very deep connections with people. And I think
Right,
and
but
I,
it's not something that you can do sight unseen. It's
No,
not like my
it's-
soulmate is out there.
No, it's like you build and then you kind of realize, oh, this person. And I wouldn't even relate it to being romantic. I would just say, like, you have soulmates in this world who are just people you have these very deep seated connections with and that you just kind of get and you're on the same wavelength. That's kind of how I would define a soulmate. And not a, like in a
and
platonic
that doesn't
way
have
sometimes.
right, and that doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Like I have people who I just naturally always clicked with.
Yeah,
And those are
yeah.
the people that are closest to me in my life, and I keep them around as long as possible.
Or, and like we could say they're family, but sometimes it feels like we just get it. We're there, and we always kind of know that we'll always be there for each other.
Right.
So it is kind of like a soulmate situation, just platonically.
And I guess just really the difference is how you feel about that person and how you experience each other physically, if at all. So I feel like, I mean, our whole tagline at the end, our sign off is, it came from a conversation about that there are many ways to love someone. Like you can love someone with your genitals.
Yeah.
And I think Freyja, for these answers is probably, I think I like to just let it happen is probably
Her
most fitting to
answer,
her.
yeah.
And how would she like a match to answer?
I would just say I just like to let it happen. I think that's the only... or indifferent.
Indifferent.
And I'd say this is very important because it's kind of what defines her.
Do we want to qualify that at all?
No. Mystery woman.
Do
I think
we want to
we move on to our final
our matches?
our matches and then call it quits.
Yeah. All right. So let's check out.
Our top three. Oh, we just got 2 messages, by the way.
Oh, do you want to check those?
Yeah, they're probably dumb. Oh, yeah.
Night owl like me? Sure, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, we got a long one.
Oh, man. Not sure if you're still logged on or not, or if it's a mistake, but just figured you are not going to be single long, so let me say that you were stunning. My treat for bubble tea, or when was the last time you checked out the dessert menu from Boston Pizza? It would be my treat if you want to make a dessert run with me, or just message me for now. What do you think?
His
Thank you.
opening offer is dessert at Boston Pizza
That's questionable.
or bubble tea.
I mean, I'd be down with the bubble tea, but...
I mean, yeah, I'd be down with it, but like as a romantic gesture. Also, can I just say I hate the whole trend of like looking at a woman's picture on social media and saying stunning.
Also, considering that, like, the photo we have is not that...
It's not revealing
No,
in
at
any
all.
way. You
It's-
can't even see the full face.
And we turned up the contrast really high, so
Yeah.
it's like...
I mean, I appreciate that he put a bit of effort into that, but
Yeah.
it only mentions the picture. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mention anything about the actual profile or what
Quality,
she likes.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, top 3.
So, straight man who has nothing on his profile. Next. We've got a single straight man.
Working on university, like, working, like, as a student, or just, like, I work on it, like, on the campus?
He's a plumber and a very good cook. I'm not a reader. Oh, honey. Yeah, I'm not really
Not feeling it,
that either.
no.
And we've got my self-summary, easygoing. And literally that's it.
Oh,
Wow.
wow, that was a bad
Yeah,
round.
I think we need to re-roll.
No, let's just...
we have spoken about moving Freyja to a new location soon.
Yeah,
So I think we might do that.
Yeah, and we're probably at times. So, well, we'd like to thank our listeners for following the show. You can find us at our website, faculty.ca. That's fakvlty.ca, which has links to our shows on archive.org, iTunes, and YouTube, and other content we've written and recorded.
You can spread the word, sweetheart, with the hashtag Fine Freyja. That's FINEFREYJA. Or support us by leaving us a review on iTunes.
I'd also like to thank James R. Bayless for lending us his voice at the top of the show. You can reach his voice agent, Gemma Crow, at GEMMA at turnerfilmgroup.com.
Why are we doing these voices?
I don't know. We'll just fucking go with it.
All right. This has been Fine Freyja. I'm Mark.
And I'm Natasha.
As always, love someone with your genitals.